For this video, we're gonna be discussing the chain rule. So, kailan ba natin ginagamit ang chain rule? It is used to find the derivative of a composite function. If y is a function of u, y is equal to f of u, and u is a function of x. Let's say we have u is equal to g of x. So, isa-substitute natin yung u natin dito, yung g of x dun sa u, and we have a composite function. Then the derivative of y with respect to x is this. So we have dy over dx is equal to dy over du multiplied by du over dx. Let's have our first example. Differentiate y is equal to the quantity 4x squared minus 5 to the 5th power. So how are we going to solve this using the chain rule and using the formula here? First is we let u. So ito yung u natin. U is equal to 4x squared minus 5. Then we're going to find du over dx, or the derivative of our u with respect to x. So du over dx is equal to 8x. So this is the derivative of 4x squared minus 5. So we just need to use the power rule, multiply the exponent to the coefficient. 2 times 4 is 8. Then subtract 1 from our exponent. And the derivative of 5 is 0 because this is a constant. Then also we have y is equal to u to the 5th. So this is our u to the 5th power. And to find dy over du, we just need to use also the power rule. So lagay natin yung 5 as the coefficient. Then we subtract 1 from our exponent. Then substitute natin. We have 5u to the 4th power. Substitute natin kung ano yung value ng u natin, which is this. So now we have 5 times the quantity 4x squared minus 5 to the 4th power. Ngayon, kompleto na yung dy over du natin, tsaka du over dx. So substitute natin dito sa ating formula. We have dy over dx is equal to, ang dy over du natin ay ito, yan, multiplied by du over dx, which is 8. Then after substituting the values, we just need to simplify. So kung pwede nating i-simplify, isa-simplify natin. In this case, pwede nating i-multiply yung 8 tsaka yung 5. So 8x times 5 is 40x, then multiplied by the quantity 4x squared minus 5 to the 4th power. And this is our answer. Let's try another method on how we are going to solve this problem. So ayan, differentiate. Ito ulit yung example natin, number 1. So another method is, in finding the derivative of y with respect to x, we just need to get the derivative of the outside function, then retain lang natin yung inside function natin, multiplied by the derivative of the inside function. So dito muna tayo sa first factor natin, derivative of the outside function. So ito yung inside natin, di ba? Retain natin ito. So let's say this is u. So yung 5, using the power rule, lagay lang natin dito. Tapos magsusubtract lang tayo ng 1 from our exponent. So may 5 tayo dito. Tapos yung exponent natin magiging 4 na lang. Okay, so here it is. Then, yung derivative naman ng inside function, so yung derivative nito, 4x squared minus 5 is 8x. Then multiply lang natin sila. We have dy over dx is equal to this. So 5 times the quantity 4x squared minus 5 to the 4th times 8x. And still our answer is 40x times the quantity 4x squared minus 5 to the 4th power. So same answer lang dun sa method na ginawa natin kanina. Let's answer another example. So number 2. Differentiate y is equal to 2 times the quantity of 3x squared minus 7 to the 4th power. So let u, ang u natin ito, 3x squared minus 7. Then kunin natin yung du over dx or derivative of u with respect to x. Yan, 6x na lang because we're going to use the power rule in the first term. So multiply natin, 2 times 3 is 6. Then subtract 1 from our exponent. For the second term, mawawala na siya because this is a constant and the derivative of a constant is 0. Then after this, let's have y is equal to 2. Tapos ito magiging u to the fourth power. And let's find dy or the derivative of y with respect to u. Yan. So use the power rule. 4 times 2 is 8. Then 4 minus 1 is 3. So we have 8u cubed. Then sa substitute lang natin yung value ng u natin, which is 3x squared minus 7. So we have 8 times quantity 3x squared minus 7 cubed. So after having these two values, yung du over dx tsaka dy over du, i-substitute natin sila sa ating formula. Ang dy over du natin is 8 times quantity 3x squared minus 7 cubed times ang du over dx is 6x. Then multiply lang natin, 8 times 6x is equal to 48x times the quantity 3x squared minus 7 cubed. And this is our final answer for our example number 2. So also pwede din natin gamitin itong formula nito in finding the derivative of our example number 2. Let's answer our third example. Differentiate f of x is equal to sine of 5x. So dito ang gagawin natin, ganun din. Ito yung u natin. So u is equal to 5x. And let's find du over dx. Du over dx is equal to 5 because the derivative of 5x is 5. Next is our y. So y is equal to sine u. This is our u. And the derivative of sine is cosine. And substituting the value of u, we have cosine of 5x. So after natin makuha itong dy over du tsaka du over dx, substitute natin sila sa ating formula. Dy over du is equal to cosine 5x and du over dx is equal to 5. So pag pinag-multiply natin sila, we have 5 cosine of 5x and this is our final answer. Also, we can use yung method number 2 natin dun sa example number 1 at number 2. Yung outside function natin is sine. Diba? Derivative of our outside function tapos retain yung inside. Ang inside natin ay 5x. Ang outside ay sine. The derivative of sine is cosine. Tapos retain yung inside. So we have cosine 5x. And the derivative of inside is 5. So same answer. Next is, let's answer number 4. Differentiate f of x is equal to sine squared of 5x. So ito, iba yung process na gagawin natin dito compared dun sa number 3 natin. So number 3 natin, sine lang, sine 5x. Dito we have sine squared 5x. And sine squared 5x can also be written to sine 5x times sine 5x. And as you can see, we have two functions, yung u tsaka v. So we're gonna be using the product rule, which is uv prime plus vu prime. Yung una natin yung u, yung ikalawa is v. So u is equal to sine 5x. U prime is equal to 5 cosine 5x. So paano nakuha itong u prime? So gamitin natin yung chain rule dito sa ating u. Since nakuha na natin ito kanina dun sa number 3 example natin, the derivative of sine 5x is 5 cosine 5x. So lagay na lang siya natin dito. Next is v. Ang v natin also sine 5x. And v prime is 5 cosine 5x. And after having these 4 values, isa-substitute natin sila dito sa ating formula. We have dy over dx is equal to sine 5x, yun yung ating u, times v prime, which is 5 cosine 5x, plus v, which is sine 5x, times u prime, which is 5 cosine 5x. So now we have two terms. Ito, yung first term natin, at ito yung second term. So first term, we can multiply this. So if we're going to multiply, the answer is 5 cosine 5x sine 5x. And for our second term, pag ni-multiply din natin, same yung makukuha natin na answer kagaya na sa first term. 5 cosine 5x sine 5x. And since they have the same cosine 5x, sine 5x, they are common terms, we can combine them. So combine natin yung lateral coefficients nila, which is 5 and 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So the answer is 10 cosine 5x sine 5x. And I will show you another way kung paano natin may solve yung ganitong problem. So let's have this. So ito yung ginawa natin kanina sa number 4. And ito yung sine squared 5x natin. The first thing that we need to do, ilalagay lang natin yung 2 as the coefficient. So gamitin natin yung power rule dito. So yung 2 lalagay natin dito. So we have 2 sine 5x. Then, kukuhanin natin ang derivative ng sine. So isang sine lang. The derivative of sine is cosine 5x. Then, imumultiply din natin dun sa derivative ng inside function natin. So, ang derivative ng 5x ay 5. So, multiply lang natin ito. Yung 5 tsaka 2 pwede natin i-multiply. So, we have 10 cosine 5x sine 5x. Pwede naman silang magkabaliktad yung sine 5x tsaka cosine 5x. And as you can see, we have the same answer dun sa kinuha natin kanina sa number 4 na gumamit tayo ng mahabang process. We used the product rule. So dito wala tayong ginamit na product rule, but still we got the same answer. What if the given is sine cubed 5x? Same process, kagaya nung ginawa natin dito. So, powerful tayo. Yung 3, lagay natin dito sa katabi as the coefficient. Yan, we have 3 sine squared 5x. So, nag-subtract lang din tayo ng 1 from the exponent. Then, what is the derivative of sine? So, isang sine lang ulit. The derivative of sine is cosine. So, we have cosine 5x. Then, multiply din natin ito sa ating derivative ng inside function. So, derivative of 5x is 5. Then, simplify. We're going to have 15 kasi multiply natin yung 3 at 5. So, we have 15 sine squared 5x cosine 5x. And this is our final answer. Now, let's try to answer our example number 5. Differentiate f of x is equal to tangent squared of the quantity 5x squared plus 3. So, gamitin natin dito yung shortcut na ginamit natin sa previous example natin. So, f prime of x. So, lagay lang natin yung 2 dun sa coefficient. Tapos, mag-subtract tayo ng 1 from the exponent. We have 2 tangent of the quantity 5x squared plus 3. Then, multiply natin dun sa derivative ng tangent. The derivative of tangent is secant squared. So, we have secant squared of the quantity 5x squared plus 3. Then, imumultiply pa natin sa derivative ng inside function. The derivative of this is 10x. Now, after having all of this, isi-simplify lang natin sila. Ang pwede natin ditong i-multiply is yung 10x tsaka yung 2. So, we have 20x tangent of the quantity 5x squared plus 3, secant squared of the quantity 5x squared plus 3. And this is our final answer dahil wala na tayong pwedeng may simplify dito. For our example number 6, differentiate f of x is equal to e raised to 2x cosine of the quantity 4x cubed plus 5. And as you can see here, we have two functions or two parts. And this is the product of the two. This is the first part, e raised to 2x. And the second part is cosine of the quantity 4x cubed plus 5. And in this example, this is a product. So we're going to use the product rule, which is uv prime plus vu prime. Ang u natin ay yung e raised to 2x. Then we're going to have our u prime. Our u prime is 2e raised to x. Because in finding the derivative of the Euler's number, we just need to get the derivative of the exponent. So the derivative of the exponent is 2. Multiply it to itself. So retain yung sarili niya. Tapos tatimes natin dun sa derivative ng kanyang exponent, which is 2. The next one is v. Ang v natin is cosine of the quantity 4x cubed plus 5. Pag kinuha natin ang derivative nito, we're going to have negative 12x squared sine of the quantity 4x cubed plus 5. So, papaano natin nakuha itong v prime natin? So, ang derivative ng cosine is negative sine. That's why we have negative here. Then, retain natin yung inside function multiplied by the derivative of the inside function. Ang inside function natin ay 4x cubed plus 5. Pag kinuha natin ang derivative nito, in the first term we have 12x squared because 3 times 4 is 12. 3 minus 1 is 2. So we have 12x squared. Tapos yung 5 mawawala dahil constant siya. So we have this. So ito yung 12x squared natin. Nimultiply na natin dito sa ating function na sine. So, negative 12x squared sine of the quantity 4x cubed plus 5. So, kompleto na yung values natin. Isa-substitute na natin sila dito sa ating formula. We have f prime of x is equal to u. U is e raised to 2x times v prime natin, which is negative 12x squared sine of the quantity 4x cubed plus 5. Plus v is cosine of the quantity 4x cubed plus 5 times u prime, which is 2e raised to 2x. And dito we have two terms. So ito yung first term natin and ito yung second term. So pag pinag-multiply natin yung lahat ng factors sa first term natin, we're going to have negative 12x squared e raised to 2x sine of the quantity 4x cubed plus 5. Kasi hindi naman natin sila pwedeng ipag-combine. For the second term, ganun din. So we're going to have 2e raised to 2x cosine of the quantity 4x cubed plus 5. Hindi din sila pwedeng ipag-combine. And as you can see dito, kung i-analyze natin yung mga terms, meron tayong GCF na pwedeng ilabas, which is 2e raised to 2x. So, pag nilabas natin yung 2e raised to 2x, what will happen to our first term? This will become negative 6x squared na lang. Okay? Kasi lumabas yung e raised to 2x, tsaka yung 2. So, 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. So, still nandito yung sign of the quantity 4x cubed plus 5. In the second term, lumabas yung 2e raised to 2x, so mawawala na to. Ang matitira na lang is cosine of the quantity 4x cubed plus 5. So in our problem number 6, this is our final answer. For our example number 7, differentiate the function f of x is equal to sine 10x plus e raised to x all over cosine 10x. Obviously, this is a quotient. So we're gonna be using the quotient rule. So we have vu prime minus uv prime all over v squared. So, identify muna natin yung u prime, yung v, tsaka v prime. For our u, yun yung numerator natin. So, u is equal to sine 10x plus e raised to x. For our u prime, we have 10 cosine 10x. So, gamitin natin ang chain rule dito sa sine 10x. So, derivative of sine is cosine. Then copy the inside function. Then multiplied by the derivative of the inside function. So, ang inside function natin, di ba, 10x. Ang derivative niya ay 10, kaya meron tayong 10 dito. And the derivative of e raised to x is itself, kaya nandito siya. Our v is cosine 10x. And the derivative of cosine 10x is negative 10 sine 10x. So, dito, ganun din. The derivative of cosine is negative sine. So, ito yung negative niya nasa unahan. Then, copy natin yung inside function. Multiplied by the derivative of the inside function. So, derivative of 10x is 10. Kaya may 10 tayo dito. Yan, kumpleto na yung apat na values natin na isa-substitute sa ating formula. We have f prime of x is equal to v. Ang v natin is cosine 10x. Ang u prime natin is this. So, multiplied by 10 cosine 10x plus e raised to x. Minus u, which is sine 10x e raised to x, multiplied by v prime, or the derivative of v, which is negative 10 sine 10x, all over v squared. Ang v natin is cosine 10x, ayan, squared. And after substituting the values, analyze natin kung ano yung pwede natin gawin sa bawat part ng nakuha natin. So, in the numerator, we have two terms. Ito yung first term natin. Ito yung second term. In the first term, what we're going to do is to distribute yung cosine 10x dun sa dalawang terms na nasa loob nitong bracket natin. So, we have cosine 10x times 10 cosine 10x. This is equivalent to 10 cosine squared 10x because cosine times cosine is cosine squared. Then cosine 10x times e raised to x, this is equivalent to e raised to x cosine 10x. Next, dito naman tayo sa second term natin. Negative 10 sine 10x, i-distribute natin ito dun sa dalawang terms na nasa loob ng bracket natin. So multiply natin, negative 10 sine 10x times sine 10x is equivalent to negative 10 sine squared 10x. But since we have minus here, magiging positive. So, positive 10 sine squared 10x. And negative 10 sine 10x times e raised to x is equivalent to 10 e raised to x sine 10x. So, still positive siya, kasi negative times negative is positive. All over. So, ito pwede naman natin siyang isulat as cosine squared 10x. So, ilagay natin sa next slide itong ating nakuhang computations. Ayan. So, analyze ulit natin. At this part, meron tayong pwedeng gamiting trigonometric identity. This part, yung 10 cosine squared 10x, and this part, 10 sine squared 10x. So, anong pwedeng identity na pwede natin gamitin dito? That is the Pythagorean identity. So, sulat natin, we have 10 cosine squared 10x plus 10 sine squared 10x. We can also write this as 10 times the quantity cosine squared 10x plus sine squared 10x. This part, using the Pythagorean identity, magiging 1 na lang siya. That's why we have 10 times 1. And this is equivalent to 10. So, itong dalawang terms na ito, yung nasa color green natin, magiging 10 na lang sila. So, sulat natin yung mga remaining terms. We have f prime of x is equal to e raised to x cosine 10x plus 10 e raised to x sine 10x plus 10 all over cosine squared 10x. So, since wala na tayong pwedeng masimplify dito sa numerator, hindi na pwedeng masimplify, wala ding GCF na pwedeng ilabas, this is our final answer. And this is the end of this video. So, if you find this video informative, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. God bless us all.